X-Pac 12360. Featuring weekly news, insider commentary, and interviews with superstars, past and present from the world of pro wrestling.
A new day is dawning for DX.
And now, your host, Sean X-Pac Waltman.
So, I just want to get right into it. This weekend was an amazing weekend for professional wrestling.
Definitely. Groundbreaking.
Yes, man. New Japan Pro Wrestling came in Long Beach and kicked some major effing ass.
Definitely.
Yes. And right now on the phone, we're joined by Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, to talk about a little bit of that. Hey, fellas.
Yep. Hey, man. Hey.
Thank you so much for coming on, man, and thanks for getting on conference to be able to talk to you both at the same time.
No problem.
No worries, dude. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, okay. I mean, just you guys to me are the premier tag team in pro wrestling right now.
The elite, you could say.
Yes, absolutely, man. And you guys already know I'm a big fan of yours, and it's the stuff that you guys have done, like your whole career, and in ROH and PWG everywhere. And this weekend, though, man, was really, really special. And the first match of the first night is very important. And you guys went out there and killed it, man, in that 10-man.
Thanks, man.
We had very limited time that night, and there was like 10 guys in the match.
Yep.
We were like, man, that's like what? I think they gave us 8 minutes. We're like, God, that's not even a minute for each guy.
Right.
We were like, there's only one way to do this style of match. Let's go out there and kill it, and just have a sprint. And we were happy with it, but we were really excited for the next night when
exactly.
the title match.
Well, I mean,
that kind of do our thing.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was the setup for the second night, and it was great because you guys, Rocky Romero slipped one over, and that basically, built for the match. And you guys just had an amazing tag match. I loved it, man.
Thanks,
loved
man.
that.
Thank you. Yeah, we were very proud of with that one. It was funny because the second night it was very loose with the time cues. So they actually didn't even tell us how long to go. So when we knew that, we're like, okay, let's have a very good match tonight, since no one's given us any type of time restraint. So that's what we did.
I heard the rumor was like we were supposed to go like 12, and we were like, yeah, let's go 25.
That's exactly. You know what, man? To give you guys 12 minutes for a tag title match like that, yeah, I think I might have done the same thing. It's better,
right.
the saying, you guys. It's better to say sorry than ask for permission.
Exactly.
That's just it. And we said, you know what? If we go out there and we tear the house down and everybody gets over, what are they going to care if we go a little bit over time? And that's what we felt like we did. We had a really good one. And I'm in there with Rocky Romero, who pretty much helped book the whole weekend, right? So, if I'm in there with the booker and he's telling me, no, take your time, I'm going, oh, great. let's just stay out here all night.
And Rocky, a lot of people don't understand just how valuable a guy Rocky Romero is, not just inside the ring, but outside.
Oh yeah. He doesn't get enough credit for what he's done to the junior division over at New Japan. I think he's overlooked sometimes because he's been around so long and he's been good for so long. It's a testament to his career.
And
he
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to put him over more. I was just going to say that, man, he's so underrated as a worker. There's nobody in the business that has a hot tag like Rocky. He's so good at that. He that's kind of our formula,
Yep.
He usually takes the heat, and here comes Rocky, and God, it works everywhere. So it's God, he's just so good, and I hope people realize just how good he is.
And he's very selfless, right? You guys, I mean, he's not that guy everything's got to be for me. He's all about making the match. He's such a pro when it comes to all that stuff.
For sure. Yep.
Man, God, now that I got you guys on the phone, man, I don't even know where to start. Go ahead, Bill.
Hey guys, this is Bill. If you don't mind me jumping ahead in the weekend a little bit, everybody absolutely everybody, including Dave himself, has been talking about that amazing tribute Meltzer driver.
Yeah.
And Dave has
Oh,
talked.
yeah.
Wow.
Dave has talked at length about how much it meant to him and how emotional it was for him and his family to see that. Why don't you give us your guys' take and perspective on the whole thing?
We for sure knew right away because we've known his dad has been battling the cancer that he had for a while. So we knew that this weekend we would do something for him. We didn't know he would pass away during the weekend. So we're like, oh man, this is terrible. So we felt like, oh, we have to do something for Dave because we know wrestling is his life, So we felt like to do something special on such a big show that he was actually supposed to be there live with his son. So we're like, let's do something cool for him. And we pretty much brainstormed it that morning. I don't know if you want to go into more detail on that.
Yeah, but you really put the pressure on us because Nick shoots out a tweet and he says, "Oh, we're going to do the craziest Meltzer driver of all time." And at that moment, we didn't have it down. We had no idea what we were going to even do. So I'm like, "Oh my God! Like we better come up with something quick,"
Yeah,
So,
and you guys did.
and we just right. So we came up with what we came up with, and to the point where like we never even tried it. But because that's kind of a risk. That's a huge stunt to try before a show.
I was just
Who
gonna
knows
say,
what's gonna happen.
come on, man. How do you even try something like that? Come on. I don't know how you guys ever tried any of the stuff that you do first without just going out in the
That's what
ring and
happens
just
when you
going to
have a
hell with
wrestling
it.
ring in your backyard growing up. You get to do
Yeah,
stuff like that.
that helped a lot with the stuff in the beginning. But nowadays, like we'll just pretty much eyeball it and see if it's possible. Like we did try like the positioning. Like I had Matt on the floor and I
Like stand here, yeah.
Yeah, and I bounced up on the ropes to see if I could do it, and I didn't think it was possible because of how bad the padding they had out there, and there's nothing but concrete afterwards. So I was like, man, my landing is gonna kill me, and I knew going into it I'm gonna be hurt for at least a week, and after the match I couldn't even walk because the pads were so thin that my foot got crushed on the landing. So right now I'm actually limping. So like hopefully it's nothing too serious, but it was definitely worth it.
And I was gonna just when we hit it, it was one of those moments like in wrestling where it feels like it felt so real to me. Like I looked up and I said something to his dad and stuff, and that was real emotion, and everybody started chanting Meltzer.
Yeah,
it's like you get lost in these matches sometimes because you have, what's my next spot? What's the next thing? Am I selling? Like for a moment there, I just like I don't know. It was weird. Like I felt like a connection with everybody in the building. Everybody knew, that was for his dad.
Yeah.
And Dave DM'd me that night and said how much it meant to him and his family and stuff. So that was really cool. It was really cool.
He's a great. A lot. I'm not sure what the prevailing opinion on Dave Meltzer is now, like in the industry, but like it used to be negative when I was starting out. And I've known him for a long time, and he's a really, really good guy. And honestly, man, I'm grateful for Dave Meltzer, Wade Keller, and these guys because they have given us a recorded accurate history of professional wrestling.
Yep. Totally agree.
That's not
totally
written by the promoters,
Right. They keep wrestling in the news, man. Like any headline you read, it's usually from Meltzer's Wrestling Observer. It's like people are constantly talking about wrestling because the greatest historian of them all is writing about it every Wednesday. It's like this guy has done so much for wrestling, more than some of the boys. Like some of these like weekend warrior guys who carry Meltzer. It blows my mind. I'm going, Dave's done more for the business than you have.
No
What
kidding.
are you talking about?
No kidding. Hey, Denise Salcido here wants to ask you guys a question. Hold on one second.
Hey guys, so first of all, awesome 2 nights. I was there both nights, and you guys completely blew my mind. So speaking of the Meltzer driver and that insane spot that you guys did, has there ever been a move that maybe one of you guys suggested that the other one was hesitant to do?
Oh, all the time. Oh man, where do we start? I remember on a bus in Japan thinking of the Meltzer driver, and Matt told me, "Oh no, that's not possible." I was like, "Oh, I don't know, Matt. I think it is." And sure enough, it was possible, but that was one example. But I would say when we have like a crazy stipulation type of match, like a ladder match or something, both Matt and I will come up with crazy ideas that our opponents usually have to say no to.
Right.
Hey, I remember the match you. I think it was Marty Jannetty and I had with you guys, and we did this spot. I'm on the apron, and somebody gave me like a tornado DDT. You remember? I don't know if you remember that.
That's right. Yeah.
That was sweet, man. I was all about taking it too.
Back in the high risk wrestling days for their company.
That brings up a memory. I went for a 450 splash on you, Sean, and you countered it with the X-Pac.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it was sweet, and the timing was good, man.
Yeah.
And that was another one you can't necessarily try before the match because you're not going to Nick do a 450 bump. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You guys nailed that. I remember that.
That's just.
That
was me who gave you the DDT too, by the way.
Yeah, right.
I remember Marty did like a splash off the top rope to the floor, and he wanted us to move. Like,
all right.
What?
Oh,
he crashed and burned, poor guy. That's his ankle up that night. I was thinking of any other examples of that, for that question, any answers. I think one that comes straight to my mind. It wasn't us who actually it was both Nick and I who thought it wasn't possible. We were having a ladder match with the Addiction, Christopher Danielson.
Oh, great tag team.
And Frankie came up with the idea where I would stand on a table, wedged in the corner, and have him up in a tombstone. And then Nick would jump off the ladder and give him the indie taker. And I just thought there was no way it would be possible that I could stand on a table without the table collapsing, without whatever going wrong. And Nick and I basically, behind their backs all day, were going, okay, so that's obviously not going to happen. What's really going to be the finish tonight? And to the point where they just kept telling us, no, we have to do this. This is too good. We have to try it. We have to just go for it. And they finally convinced us. They kind of pulled their vet cards, and Nick and I were like, okay, these guys want to do it. Let's just go for it. And and it worked out. But that was one of those situations where it was so crazy that Nick and I were like, no, no way.
Yeah.
Hey, so
but you know what? I'm happy we did do it.
Was there a backup? Did you have a backup in case it didn't go as planned?
Yeah, we did. But man, I cannot tell you what it was.
Because who gives a shit at this point, right? Because you guys pulled it off.
But yeah, we definitely did have a backup plan. I think it was me jumping off the ladder through a table or something. Or
you know what? You were scared about me doing too, Nick, when I super glued a bunch of thumbtacks to the bottom of a high top, and I super kicked Candice LeRae in the face with it. And he looked at the shoe and he said, "You can't kick anybody with that shoe. You'll kill him." And I said, "No, it'll be awesome."
Especially a woman.
That's right. Yeah.
And that ended up becoming. I didn't injure her or anything, but dang, she had huge.
But you know, to our credit though, those are two instances that are huge highlights of our careers. So I'm glad we took the chance. Right?
You guys were self-trained. Do you think that that's the reason why your style is so unique?
Oh man, maybe. Because we usually don't say no to each other, and we usually just do take the risk. Like, there's a lot of wrestlers that are scared of taking risks. Like, they'll do what they're comfortable with.
Yep.
Matt and I sometimes go outside of our boundaries and just do it. And sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't, but most of the time it does pay off.
Most recently, oh, go ahead, Sean.
I was going to just say I retweeted a quote that says, "Nothing great happens in your comfort zone."
You're right.
Yeah, that's true.
You're right.
That's good,
We recently wrestled Rocky and Trent in Japan at the show called Dominion, and it was a totally different style of match psychologically. And we said, this can go either really terribly or this can be like a really great match. And because basically the entire story of the match would be different than any other Young Bucks match you've seen. But we said, you know what, let's do something different. Let's just swing for the fences and let's commit. And as long as, Nick and I really believe, as long as you commit at something and you don't give up and you if you don't bail on it, because sometimes a lot of these guys will be like, oh, it's not getting over, it's not getting over.
Yeah.
They go to whatever they know. Nick and I just go, okay, it's not getting over, but you know what? By the end of the night, damn it will be over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then what happened was we hit a home run that night. We had a really good match at Dominion. It's one of my favorites all time. And so we took that similar style we did with going back to the whole weekend we just had. We kind of had a similar match with them again. And again, we were like, man, this clicks, this works. Like Nick and I are doing like sharpshooters. We've never done that in our career, but
right.
I think now we've developed a new finish, like maybe this could be something we can do and it'd be less damaging on our bodies, So that was the point of that.
That's something that's just gonna. You guys are just gonna evolve. Your work will evolve over your course of your career, and like more of that stuff will come. I mean, that's just how it works. And and that. But man, go ahead.
Yeah, so, speaking of the G1 special, everywhere that you looked, obviously you guys know this, but left and right we saw Young Buck shirts, we saw Bullet Club shirts, and you guys just landed your deal with Hot Topic. How did that come about?
Yeah, you want to? Yeah, the owner, the CEO of Hot Topic, was actually at WrestleMania, and he kept seeing Young Buck T-shirts, Kenny Omega T-shirts, Cody Rhodes T-shirts, and Bullet Club T-shirts. So initially he was like, wow, why don't we have those T-shirts in our shop? So he called someone from the WWE to find out why, because he was thinking that WWE owned all these guys' T-shirts. And when WWE said, no, we don't own those, he's like, what? So he's like, man, I got to figure out who does own these T-shirts. So he found out about Pro Wrestling Tees, and he called the owner, Ryan, and said, hey, is there any way we could somehow get something like worked out where we could get these T-shirts in? So Ryan contacted us, and we're like, yeah, let's get it done.
Yeah, and I was going to add to it and say, and it was just supposed to be like a little project at first. They just wanted to test it because they didn't know how big this really was. So they just, they knew right away the Bullet Club logo, the skull logo is huge. They're going to put that in every store. Like, we'll try these other guys in a few stores. So they put us and Kenny and Cody and Marty in a couple of the stores, and it was just mind blowing how fast the T-shirts went. Like, and not only that, but people were demanding them, calling, and they said that I talked to two of the buyers from Hot Topic, two of the top people over at HQ, and they said they'd never seen anything like it. So immediately, within like 5 days, they put in a brand new order, and officially we were going to be in every single store in America and in Canada. So, and now this is actually a scoop. I can give it to you guys first.
Nice.
They just talked to us yesterday about putting an exclusive Elite T-shirt in the store as well. So that's our next thing that we're working on.
Speaking of Elite,
we're pumped, man.
Speaking of Elite and the Bullet Club, I dig it, man. I dig you guys taking and having your group inside the group. My friends and I, we did that too, and it worked really well. Tell me about that. Tell me about how that works.
Yeah, you want me to go, Nick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say that, it's just the three of us, we always clicked, and we always kind of gravitated towards each other. We've been friends forever, and it was so great because we've been in Bullet Club for a while, and then when Kenny jumped on board, we're like, oh, this is awesome. We get to hang out with him even more, And we just got even closer and closer, and we'd always be on the Japanese buses, and we would be like, when you're bored, you just kind of like do stupid things. So the three of us would go, hey, let's list the 10 top wrestlers in the world, the 10 elite wrestlers. And like just to mark out for ourselves, we would always be on the top 10. You know what I mean?
Of course.
It kind of became a joke, like, oh, we're the elite. And then one day out of nowhere, when we basically found out, literally last second, that AJ, Carl, and Gallows were jumping, the whole plan for the year changed, and they decided that they're going to make Kenny a heavyweight, and he's going to attack AJ and stuff. So he attacked AJ, and then he leaves the ring, and what was supposed to be the end of the segment, Kenny goes to me and says, hey, should three of us hop back in the ring and give AJ a Styles Clash double super kick and then just pose, just the three of us? Because the other guys, the Bullet Club guys, were out there too, but they had left at that point. So he looks at Nick and he goes, should we do it? Nick says, I don't know, ask Matt. And I'm more of the wild card. Kenny says, Matt, what do you think? I said, let's go. So we slid in the ring, and we did the deal on AJ, and we're just standing there in the ring, and we get all the photographers just start flashing light bulbs at us, and we knew right there we had something special. We got to the back, and my phone was just lit up like a Christmas tree, and it was just that picture of the three of us. So I captioned it, the Elite of the Bullet Club, and that took off right away. And within like 5-6 days, I had a T-shirt. So we were like, and it was blowing through the roof. So we were like, okay, this is something.
And you guys just did it yourselves. It wasn't something that Gato or anyone from the office did. See, that's the stuff. That's the big time. That's the big time money stuff right there, you guys. And I really dig that.
Yeah, you know what's funny is they tried their hardest to stop it.
Of course they did.
You guys can't call it yet. You can't call you guys yourself the Elite. This is just the Bullet Club. And we're like, no, we can't. We got to do something different. We have to do something different because the Bullet Club at that point, people were thinking it was over with. We're like, no, we got to add some more stuff to it,
and
add some more substance to it, and we did.
And in my opinion, you guys, you have to protect yourself in case the Bullet Club gets too watered down, like the NWO did.
That's it.
It's true.
That's it. That's
Definitely
why we did
true.
it. And there's a business reason behind it too. Obviously,
for sure.
We sold the Bullet Club's one of the hottest shirts in the last 10, 20 years, right? But we don't get much of a cut on those things. So we said to ourselves, we need to create our own brand, and we need to market it, and then we'll make all the money on it.
Yes.
So, it was a business decision too.
Yes.
So.
And that, you know what that reminds me of, you guys? I remember talking to one of you, maybe by DM or something, right around the time you were negotiating with ROH, and they were trying to play hardball with you guys, and you guys got them.
That's right.
You got them.
That's right. That's right. I remember. Yeah.
Hey, man.
And that helped. That gave confidence to us. We were like, okay.
For sure.
Hearing from people like you know what I mean? It breathes life into you, and you go, you know what? He's right. And it helped us.
Yeah. I'm like, you guys, they need you. Trust me. Don't give in.
I remember that.
They're gonna need us even more in a year and a half when our contracts.
Do you hear that, ROH?
I got two quick questions for you guys. You've got the Elite, but you've also got, when Adam Cole was there, you had the Super Click. And now that Cole's supplanted, or now that Marty Scurll's supplanted Adam Cole in that group, is there a new name for it? Do you have another name for when Cody is a part of it? Because there's all different combinations of you guys hanging out together. Do you have little nicknames or terms for each permutation?
Yeah. Go ahead. I was just going to first say, may Adam Cole's soul rest in peace. Go ahead.
Yeah, we have different names for everyone. We haven't thought of one with Cody though. We were
he's
thinking
saying we should be Team FTR.
Oh, that's right.
That's
great. That's right. Which is genius. So I guess we'll be named that. For now on.
Hey, I'm a big fan of you guys as adding Marty Scurll to the mix. Big fan of him, man.
He's great.
He's awesome. He's so good.
He fits right in. And even before that, we knew, we're like, man, if we could get Marty in here, it would be great. And I'm glad it all worked out.
He's the kind of guy that brings something to the group instead of the group bringing something to him. You know what I mean? Well, it's both.
Yeah. Oh,
it's both. It's a mutual thing. It's like
he's so smart, man.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say his biggest asset is his brain, his mind, the way he thinks. He's so different. He's a little guy, so you'd expect, okay, is he going to be this way or this way? And he's neither of those. Like, he's just really intelligent. So I think he lends something to the crew. He's nice to have around too. We're buddies with him. We call ourselves the super villains when it's the three of us. We've yet to have a 6-man tag, but
it's the super villains that you can't hate. Like, it's so hard to hate you guys.
That's so true.
Hey, it was really hard not to notice on the second night a little banter back and forth you had with Josh Barnett. Any comment on that?
Honestly, I feel like he should just be doing his job instead of trying to get like whatever he wants over for himself. Like, I think he has a certain style that he likes.
Yeah.
And it comes across so much like, obviously Josh doesn't like this style. Like, that's
but you know what,
man?
Yeah,
you get the product over.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. It's not, announcers are not supposed to get themselves over. It's supposed to get the product over, in my opinion. So that's where what Matt set out there was because of, you know.
I just said, are you burying us again, man? Because that's what he's doing. Like, I've literally watched matches that I have loved of ours. And I've heard his commentating, and the matches are less great with his commentating. And he could bury us and stuff, but and he doesn't like our style of wrestling. That's fine. I don't like his style of commentating. Exactly. Agree on that.
Was there any words after? Were there any words after the match with him at all?
No.
I didn't even see him. Yeah,
I didn't even see him either. It was a busy weekend. I didn't even. I never really saw him. I only saw JR like even once. We were all tied in different positions in different parts of the building all day doing pre-tapes, all this other stuff. But no, not yet.
Hey, what do you guys? I liked, for the most part, I liked the mix of the American talent that they had on the show. But and he's my former partner and everything. But like the Billy Gunn versus Tanahashi, that type of thing. Like, I think it's good that New Japan uses Billy Gunn in Japan because it's but like here in the States, I just didn't think that was a good idea. I thought Tanahashi should have had maybe a Japanese opponent actually.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not sure how that went about, but I think personally, New Japan feels that because he's such a name, like in America, that it would bring more attention to that match because of it. That's my opinion, though. I'm not sure of the reasoning for the booking. But
I totally get it.
I would guess.
I totally get why they did it. I just think that they underestimated themselves, that they needed him in that position. That's all. And nothing against. I love Billy, and he's an amazing athlete. I question that.
Oh, dude, he's so good. He's so good. We just wrestled him in Australia a couple of weeks ago, and my God, I'm trying to keep up with this guy.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Yeah. So, good guy, too, man.
So what's next for you guys?
PWG this Friday, right?
No way.
The most recent thing.
Oh, wow.
Pushing Forward Back is the name of the show. It's the anniversary show. I think it's 13 years, I want to say.
And you guys still find time in your schedule to hit the PWG. That's pretty much the only independent that you do these days, isn't it?
It's pretty hard these days to fit it in, and I hope the fans respect the fact that we do get that into our monthly schedule, because I can tell you this, it's probably winding down because we've been doing it for 10 years straight.
Yeah.
Every month, and it is hard, and that show takes the most out of my body, so I don't know how much longer I can do it, to be honest with you.
And I'm sure
they've seen everything. They've seen everything we can do.
Exactly.
And here's the thing, I'm sure you guys
Super Direct.
I'm sorry, I was just going to say, I'm sure you guys could make a lot more money working another promotion,
right.
I mean, just because of the simple fact that it's in such a small venue, like there's only so much money could be made there.
Yeah, but when you made your Ring of Honor contracts and your New Japan contracts, wasn't that factored into the contract that PWG was the only independent promotion you guys could wrestle for?
Yeah. You in the U.S., that's the only other company we can wrestle for. We can still go do indies, overseas and stuff. Like that's how important PWG has been to us. Like it's home to us, and we've been there so long, and it's just something about working in that building. Like it's magic, and we just love it. And Danny Super Dragon, he put us on the map, and we feel like we owe a lot to him. So
for sure,
that's why we always make it
we do it. So that's why we do it every month, because out of respect for our friend.
Right on. Yeah. So, before we let you guys go, does anybody have any more?
I got a couple. Okay. What up, guys? You know me, Jimbo.
Yep.
Obviously.
Of course.
So my question is, with the ad revenue changing on YouTube, has that affected the Being the Elite show?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We make pennies on that show. So that's why we try to advertise our T-shirts on the episodes that we have as much as possible. And I feel like fans understand that now, and it feels like they're buying T-shirts more and more, even when we upload the episodes. So I feel like they, out of respect, they sometimes buy some T-shirts because of the free content that we give out. I don't know if you feel the same way, Matt.
Yeah, there was never really much money being made before this whole thing happened. But now that this thing happened, we're really not making any money on it. Honestly, it's something that we just really, really enjoy, because we're creative guys, and it really helps weekends go by faster, and we're actually I'm having the time of my life doing this. I'm actually more excited to put together storylines for our little YouTube show now than I am wrestling in the matches. That's how big this is for us. We're so thrilled to come up with different, stories and just filming this thing. We're all laughing and having a good time. It's I feel like the response has been huge. Like the channel's grown just huge. Like I think in the last, I told Nick, the last 4 months we've gained like 50 to 60,000 subscribers on our little channel.
We're getting we're getting 100,000 views in less than 24 hours now, which is great. So it's growing. It's growing a lot. So we're very happy about it. But there is not much money at all to be made though from it. So we're still trying to figure out how to make money off.
But you know what? The long-term thing is we've gotten way more over. We're getting characters. We're nurturing these characters and getting these characters more over now. Too. So it's like we've seen a huge response in it, man. It's like every time we do a meet and greet, it's like, I love your YouTube show. Like it's never about our wrestling anymore.
Yeah, but that's the thing, man. They just want to know you. And that's what you're doing. You're letting them know you. And when they know you, they care about you. And they're emotionally invested.
Yeah, you're right.
So
the other
they
question,
know us on a personal level now, and not just a professional wrestling match
That's
level.
right.
Like it's so much deeper than that, you know. So it's really helped us out. It's like whether we're making money just from the episodes or not, like it's something we really enjoy. We never did it for the money, and I think we'll continue to do it for a while.
Yeah.
the other question I wanted to ask was, your entire family was in the audience at G1 this weekend. How cool is it to have them all there to see the imprint you've made in New Japan? And what is your brother Mal's reaction when he sees you guys? Does he wish he would have stayed in wrestling and maybe he could be there with you now? Is he happy selling cars, doing the family thing?
Mm-hmm. He's I saw him yesterday for because I had a family get together. He's happy for us. He's great. He doesn't care at all about like he has no jealousy, I should say, towards us at all. He's very happy with what he has, and he enjoys doing what he does now. So like he's never ever showed us any type of jealousy, and he's always supported us and still does. And he said he was blown away by the response that we had live, because he told me he hasn't seen us wrestle live in 5 years. So it's been a big, like a huge difference from 5 years ago to now with how the crowd reacts to us. So it was pretty special to have him front row watching our match, and along with our whole family. It was pretty special.
Yeah, right.
So, go ahead.
I was just going to add that our mom and dad-in-laws are also in the crowd. And they've been with us, not since the beginning, but man, for a while. Like, at least I've been with my wife forever. We're high school sweethearts. So like, I was literally with her when I was a backyard wrestler. So her mom thought whatever I did was so silly, right? Like at the time.
God.
And now she gets to come to the shows and she sees like this movement that we have.
Yeah.
And man, it's vindicating.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Really, really good.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is my father-in-law yesterday, he asked me, he's like, did you ever think you'd become this popular from wrestling? I'm like, yeah, that's a good question, but even it's hitting him now how popular we have gotten, all on our own pretty much too, which is so cool. Right.
I'm going to take a guess and say that you guys knew you'd be successful in wrestling from the get-go.
Yeah, well, I think we thought so, but like, and it took a lot to get to where we are now. Like I remember Matt wanting to quit after our TNA run, and all the highs and lows. Like it's so rewarding though. It really is.
Hey,
you got to have a low to appreciate the high, though, and it's been
That's right.
We've loved every minute of it.
That's right. Go ahead, Bill.
I got one last quick question for you guys. Ever since the early days coming out to Mbop, you guys have sort of prided yourselves on being obnoxious, especially once you stop being baby faces, and you really crank it up every time. But that's extended to your merchandise, the all-over print shirts and everything. But I want to know, you guys are the undisputed merch kings of indie wrestling, perhaps the pro wrestling period. But is there a piece of merch that you guys have considered too obnoxious to print?
You know what? I was totally against this T-shirt. I don't know if any one of you will remember it, but it was two monkeys doing our flex pose, and it said Spot Monkey under it. Yeah. And I was like, no, Matt, we cannot print that. He's like, come on, it's perfect. It's and I was like, whatever, just print it. But it sold pretty well, so I guess I was wrong.
Dude, there's absolutely not a thing I will not put on a T-shirt. Like, there's one thing that people have been demanding and I've yet to make, just because the timetable hasn't worked out. But we're doing women's leggings now, and we're doing basically the prints of all of our spandex that we wrestle in.
Yeah.
And everybody is demanding that we do we had these sites where Nick and I had a collage of all of our silly faces.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
And a lot of the women are asking for those leggings, and I've yet to print those. Like, I don't know if I haven't done them because I fear that they will be too obnoxious and people won't buy them, or if it just hasn't worked out yet because of timing. I don't know. I may still pull the trigger on that one.
You know
that
what's
one's a little crazy.
This is making me think of the shirt you guys came out with you two with Jesus, and it looked just like me.
Buddy Christ.
Yeah. Good Christian boys.
Yeah,
that's right.
I was like, hey, that looks like me with you guys.
Yeah,
Hey,
you're right.
Hey, I have to ask you this. When's the last time you heard from WWE?
Man.
When was it? Actually, I couldn't tell you. It's been at least a couple years.
Really? It's been that long? Not even secondhand? Not
Yeah.
even through people? Hey, give us a call, or hey.
Oh yeah, we had feelers when our contract was up last time it was up, which was I don't even what was that a 6 months ago?
Yeah, but direct it was probably the 2 years. But yeah, we had some stuff like that, but we never really even got into it.
Our names are always floating around back there,
Sure.
though, according to a lot of our buddies. So.
You guys have any desire at this point in your career to go there?
I don't know, man. Like, it's so weird. Like, right now, if you ask me right now, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Why do I even need to go there at this point? But like, in a year and a half, the landscape may change. I may not be like, we may have to go somewhere different, do something new to get hot again. Like, I don't know. I'll never ever say never, but
Yeah.
I feel like if our careers ended and we never went there, I think I'd be okay with it at this point. Like,
You know
I
what?
feel like we've done so much, so it's whatever.
Yeah. If they were willing to give us a schedule like the Hardys have, I would definitely consider it. I don't know if I could do the 300 days on the road. Like, I'm too close to my kids and my wife. I just don't know if I could do it. Like, I've already missed enough special days, and like, you're not going to get those days back. So
That's
I'm
right.
Trying to I'm trying to my hardest to see the special moments, you know. So it's like, I don't know if any type of money is worth that.
Man, honestly, it's not. It's not, you guys. And I talk about this a lot, man. The one thing we cannot save, we can't put in a bottle is time. And man, it's gone and we can get it back. So man, I totally get what you're saying, man. Totally get it.
Yeah, like for instance, right now after we get done with PWG, we have 14 days off. Like, I don't think any WWE wrestlers get that. So like,
when you get hurt,
it's so yeah,
exactly. When you get hurt.
So it's so nice to have the schedule that we have right now. Like, we were only home for 5 days in June, but we knew we were going to have 2 weeks off in July. So it's like, it's hard to compete with that schedule. It really is.
Hey, man, here's the thing. You guys earned it and you deserve it. And I just want to tell you, man, I'm like, I don't mean for this to sound funny way or anything, but I don't mean to sound like your father or something. I'm really, really proud of both of you guys because you've done it right, man.
That means a lot, man.
You've done it right.
And we've known you for a long time, dude, so thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. And you guys, you keep your noses clean. You never have to worry about the Young Bucks being in a scandal. And man, I really look up to you guys for that. And thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, both of you guys, for coming on.
No problem.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having us.
Hey, real quick, let's plug your merch and your social media.
Oh, for sure. You could go to youngbucksmerch.com for a lot of cool different types of T-shirts and stickers, 8x10s, autograph signings, a lot of stuff like that. Or you can go to prowrestlingtees.com/theyoungbucks for at like about 100 other designs on T-shirts, and you can follow.
There's no Z in there though. It's just prowrestlingtees.com.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or you can go to Hot Topic, baby.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yep. Any store in America or Canada, I think every store will have them by July 14th, I heard, or somewhere around there.
Oh, nice.
But a lot of them already do have them. Yep. And you can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Nick Jackson YB.
And I'm Matt Jackson 13.
Nice. Yep. Hey, well, I thank you guys again, man. I appreciate you coming on. Really grateful you guys took the time out today.
No problem, man.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it,
The
man.
Young Bucks,
Yeah.
everyone.
Take care, guys.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back on what? X-Pac 12360.
What's up, party people? Roxy Stryer here from The Tomorrow Show with Kevin Undergaro. We're your twice weekly broadcast of one man's midlife crisis and the mad millennials in Star Trek uniforms that follow him.
And I'm one of those millennials, Lauren Magrasso here. We've had some amazing guests like Russell Simmons, Ileana Douglas, and Craig Gass. Coolio, right?
Christian Blatt in the house to tell you to go to thetomorrowshow.com to check us out. We're live every Monday and Thursday from 10 to midnight Eastern. That's thetomorrowshow.com. Be there or be square, whatever that means.
All right, we're back here on X-Pac 12360. Had a great talk with the Young Bucks just now about New Japan Pro Wrestling
It's like
weekend.
too sweet talk.
Yeah, it was, man.
It was too sweet.
Yeah.
So we had to end it.
Yeah. So we can talk about the rest of the weekend, like the incredible wrestling display put on by everyone.
Well, at the end of G1, when Kenny gave his speech,
Yeah.
he said that they were hesitant to come there and they didn't know if they were going to sell out a 2,000-seat arena. And he
Yes.
said, no, next year, 20,000 seats. What do you think about that?
I don't think 20,000 just because I don't see them securing a venue that big, but I could see them getting to 10,000 or 8,000, something like that, and filling it.
I think 10,000.
Yeah.
I think especially if it's like if they do because the owner of NJPW just yesterday or today said that they're opening an office in LA at the end of the year. They're establishing the dojo at the beginning of next year, and they want a tour no later than March or April.
Yeah, actually, his name is George. He you would see him in some of the ceremonies and stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he actually approached me about doing something with them.
Nice.
Maybe with the dojo or.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
I don't know if he wanted me telling anybody that, but.
We didn't say not to.
Put that in the press release.
Yeah, there you go.
Didn't say not to. That's very cool, man. But so do you think that they could fill the 10,000 seat arena right when they start, because it's going to be a big?
You mean
event,
with the quick sellout type of thing?
No, I just mean what sort of are they going to have a? Because these two sold out lickety split because it was, hey, this is our first two events ever in the United States. Right. Now that they're going to be a regular ongoing thing,
I mean, how regular though, Bill?
Well, he said he wants to tour, and they want to
once
establish
a year,
territory.
twice a year.
That's true. Okay, yeah.
I think it's gonna, and I think that they killed it this weekend. So the people that didn't get a chance to go are gonna be like, I got to go to the next one.
Definitely.
It's a bummer that they can't do. There's no way that they can do the Best of Super Juniors here or the G1 Climax, because the Japanese fan, that would be a slap in the face of the Japanese fan, because they've been doing it over there for 30 years. But I think it would be cool if they did special tours here where it's the Best of Super Juniors qualifiers take place in America.
Yes, that would be a great idea. That would be a really good idea.
I think they should do something like the Big Four, how WWE has the Big Four. That should be New Japan in America. We have big events every year, and then in between we might tour Chicago, tour Philly, the other big wrestling markets, just to build
that's how
a
ROH
foundation
operates, and,
of now we're rooted here. This is what you can expect from us. Were you happy that it was a New Japan ring, New Japan refs,
That's
New
right.
Japan ring
of course
announcer?
I was.
Everything you wanted?
Yeah, that's and it's what I mean. I even shot him a tweet. Hey, congratulations on doing a great job of giving the people an authentic New Japan experience. Mind you, I wasn't there live, but I had a pretty good idea of him watching on the show.
I think one of the cool things is that it wasn't just obviously LA locals, coming to the show. It was people that flew from probably all over the United States, because obviously it's better to come to LA.
States.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane. So I was thinking, how would it be if they were to, would they be able to fill up a 10,000 person arena, depending on how often they do it, because they do have people flying in versus more than just LA locals, So that's one of the things that I was thinking that, factors into how many people they could get. But I honestly would love to see them in a place where there's risers, because I know a lot of people were talking about how they couldn't see. Myself, I had to jump in some parts to see, but
that was
great
that was something that was the only negative I had aesthetically, was that there was no risers. So you didn't have the arena look to the building on television. Yeah. That was it. But the thing is in Japan, a lot of the venues are like that.
Yeah, sure.
Like one of the most famous, popular wrestling venues they have over there is called Hakata Star Lanes. Mm-hmm. And obviously there's a bowling alley somewhere around there, but it's just a big, room like that holds like 3,000 to 4,000 or 5,000 people with no risers, and it would be sold out every time. It was great, and the people went nuts.
Was there anything else you noticed that you might want to change or they could work on for next time?
Here's the one thing. Okay, find a venue where they'll allow the people to throw streamers. Mm-hmm. Okay, I know that doesn't sound like a big deal, but it is. And
I was shocked when I rolled up to the arena. The first thing I saw on will call was it said no outside food and no streamer. Oh, no signs.
No signs,
no
streamers.
No streamers. And I was like, no streamer. Like, I was stunned.
And also, I would like to see for title matches they have the ceremony with the flowers. Yes. Yep. I want that.
See, while I was in line, we were talking about the streamers thing, and somebody else was like, well, people in New Japan don't normally throw streamers. That's for different feds. And I was like, I thought that was just Japanese wrestling overall.
Yeah, who told you that?
Some dude in line, and one of those. So that was weird. But the merch there was ridiculous that people the first night missed half of the show just waiting in the merch line to buy stuff. So definitely, I would say next time have different different merch stands, or like if you want programs here, if you want event shirts here, if you're gonna spend like how WWE would be like, you're coming to buy replica belts and big money items, they're over here. But literally,
or do yourself a favor and just head to Hot Topic first.
Well, it was crazy because the first night that line never got shorter than all the way around the arena. It never got shorter, and I kept going up to the front and like looking, and like it just stayed the same length, and I was like, don't they realize that you can order them online?
Yeah, but someone was telling me if you buy things from New Japan online, you have to get a temporary Japanese address that they mail it there and then they mail it to you. Like it's way more of a hassle and more money and hoops to jump through that people were like, oh, okay.
You can't make things that hard for people to do.
Well, you were saying trying to navigate through the New Japan world was hard.
Yeah, it's a terrible experience to navigate that. Luckily, it wasn't hard to find out how to watch the actual live show.
Yeah.
But like if I was going to try to go back and like hit the archives, which I tried to do, I have no idea how to do that. I went on the menu. I went everywhere. I couldn't find it. But
I think that also the first day during the meet and greet, they had this kind of complication where it was one line to get tickets to meet certain wrestlers, because it was like $10 you got the $10 ticket to be in the meet and greet in the first place, and then an additional $10 for each wrestler you wanted to meet, but at the same time you could buy merch. So this whole line was waiting to meet wrestlers to get extra tickets and buy merch at the same time, which I heard got really complicated during the meet and greet. And a lot of people did miss the show. The person next to me didn't come through till the main event, and I was like, where have you been? It's
crazy.
You
know what happens is, and I know they probably underestimated things, but then you don't want to, you're trying to save money by not having as many people, staff.
Your bandwidth and whatnot.
Yeah, all that. But in a situation like that, you lose money. You're losing money because you don't have enough people out there selling things. It's like not having enough people working at a bar, because you can only pour so many drinks an hour.
Absolutely.
So.
We experienced that when we went to a soft opening of a bar last week. It was the worst.
Anyways, so hey, before we go, I want to talk about who stood out the most, and to me, as far as the guys, wise, the foreigners, the Americans, or the white boys, or some black fellas too.
I mean, obviously Omega, and I think Okada proved beyond a shadow of a doubt he's one of the best ever, because that main event with Cody was just phenomenal.
It was great, and the main event with Ishii, the second night, was just the storytelling was amazing, man. The detail work that was involved in that match.
The only thing that bums me out, the only blemish on it at all for me, that at times bummed me out. Amazing match, I loved the match. That New Japan hasn't toned down anything after what happened to Shibata, and that's pretty upsetting to me. Like, I know it's a big part of Ishai's thing to do all the shoot headbutts and everything, but that's a bummer, man. Like, after what happened to Shibata, and also what happened to Hanma, and also what happened to Misawa, that they haven't toned down a single thing. Like, that's kind of a bummer to me.
Yeah. I haven't really put any thought into that because I'm not like I know something happened to Shibata. I'm not exactly sure what the nature of it was, but I'm sure it was head injuries,
he
right?
He had a subdural hematoma because of a shoot headbutt he gave Okada, and he had to have emergency surgery. He's never going to wrestle again. And after that, like even Shinsuke Nakamura said like he thinks it's time for Japanese wrestling to start toning it down. That's the king of strong style who said that.
So wow,
strong style evolved.
So he's done with that.
So
I had an acute hematoma and a blood clot on my brain when I was 19, and I still kept on going.
He's been but you know his Shibata's whole thing is.
How did you find out?
I had to go to the hospital right from the Monster Factory. Yeah, I caught a guy who jumped way over my head, and I jumped up to catch him, and all his weight came down and crashed onto the cement.
Oh.
Yeah, they almost killed me at 19 years old. Yeah, I had a blood clot in my brain. It was brutal. Yeah, that was like probably my first major head trauma besides when I was a child.
Sure.
Now, were you like, I need to go to the hospital, or were they sending you
No,
to the
there was
hospital?
no two ways about it. I was done. Like, I was like, yeah, no, it was bad.
People were like, dust off and get back in there, kid. You're fine. Go get some water.
No, but I didn't mean to go up into the weeds on that because this isn't
fine.
about me.
It's your show.
The guys that stood out to me, because, Kenny Omega, we already know. Amazing. But Michael Elgin stock went through the roof for me, and Zack Sabre Jr. Those were the guys that I really, really enjoyed watching the most.
That Omega Elgin match was
excellent,
amazing.
man.
It was really
the most I've ever enjoyed in a Michael Elgin match ever.
And I've known Michael Elgin could go for. I worked with him I want to say probably 7 years ago. It was one of my. I quit doing quit doing singles matches back then because I wasn't trusting the guys. But I ended up working with him. I said okay, and after the first night, I'm like, oh wow, okay, yeah, I'll stick with this. You know, he was excellent to work with back then.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like and Zack Sabre Jr. Man, I pure wrestling wise, my favorite guy to watch right now, as far as the
hold.
Yes, mat wrestling, yes, the best at doing it. And that fight to the rope spot, it was just second to none. I've never seen a fight to the ropes spot done that well ever in all my years watching wrestling ever.
I think there's one guy that really stood out for me, obviously besides the other ones you guys mentioned, and it was Juice Robinson.
Yes.
I was like, whoa, like you just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like it was badass. I really enjoyed seeing him. I also really enjoyed seeing Naito. I thought that was really cool because he's so fast, he's so clean, he's so crisp with what he does. Ishii was amazing too. And I really liked the tag team match with the Young Bucks and Roppongi Vice. I thought that one was a really good one too. So there was a lot of different highlights of the show, like little pieces here and there where I was like, oh man, I didn't know this guy was that great. Oh, this guy's even better, and I'm just happy to be seeing this guy.
Yeah. On that note, I thought Adam Page did really well because I've seen him wrestle before and I've never been overly impressed. But his match this weekend, both of them were really good. I enjoyed that a lot.
The only two guys I thought really should have been there that were Hiroki Goto and especially Toru Yano, because I wanted to see and meet Toru Yano. Like he was part of the original announcement when they said the roster that was coming over, and so like that's when I was like, I'm going to Long Beach because I'm going to see Toru Yano, but he wasn't there. So.
I'm sorry, Bill.
It's okay.
Maybe
someday.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
I have a question for you guys. Do you guys think that they brought too many guys? Because I know some people were thinking that maybe they could have done without some guys, or do you think that they brought like just enough?
Oh, I thought they did. Okay, we could question certain things, but overall, I thought they brought the right amount of firepower.
I also felt like they really, because of the mix of people that they brought and the amount of people they brought, they were able to actually do really authentic New Japan shows because people are used to indie wrestling. They're used to Ring of Honor, where it's like everybody gets 15 minutes, everybody gets 20 minutes, instead of New Japan, where it's like here's a 7-minute match, an 8-minute match, a 6-minute match, a 10-minute match. Now there's an intermission. Now there's a 12-minute match. Now there's a 15-minute match. Like
I thought it was interesting that they went with the intermission both nights. You know, because I mean, when you're doing a live broadcast, that can, that can really F with the flow.
The only major complaint I heard, some people didn't like the intermission. I didn't have a problem with it, but the major complaint that I've been hearing is that people didn't like the English commentary, and that they wish it would have been the Japanese commentary all the way through.
Yeah, but they could have. Maybe when you're watching on Access, but if you're watching on New Japan World, you have the option of switching over to Japanese commentary at any time you want.
Right.
And I did listen to it because I've always liked listening to Japanese commentary, whether I understood a word of it or not. It's just the emotion and the, and how much what they put into it.
Yeah. I think it's like watching lucha with American commentators. It's just not the same.
Yeah, I would rather have, like on my New Japan show that I was watching on Access, I would, nothing against anybody, but for me and my authentic experience, I would rather have the commentary in Japanese with subtitles, English subtitles.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I dig it. I mean, and the same with my lucha.
Yeah.
You know.
I really dug how authentic they were, though. Even the table during the War Machine Gods match, when they broke out the table and it was like the small Japanese table.
Oh man, those
like,
things.
That's great.
I've had easier street fights than trying to break one of those damn tables.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. My first match in Japan ever was against Dick Togo.
Oh.
And the finish was I took him and I picked him up and tombstoned him through one of those tables. And nobody was holding on to the table. I had to balance myself and him. And somehow, man, and it actually broke, not like completely, but the people went nuts. And I rolled back in and won by countout. Yeah. And then, like, that was supposed to be my only match for that tour, but then they put me on against him every night.
Wow.
And then I had to tombstone to a table every night.
Oh, stop being so good, Sean.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you get to...
That was Universal Pro. That wasn't here. That was down here.
No. I just mean when you start doing stuff like once Tanaka and Mike Awesome had those matches, like that's all they could do anymore.
Right.
You know?
Something that happened night 2 was pretty crazy. Denise was pointing out.
Yeah, we need to talk about Ricochet showing up to New Japan, which was definitely I didn't see it coming. I don't know what you guys thought.
Yeah, it was crazy, and when he said what he said about some underground company being pricks and not wanting him on TV, I wonder how much trouble he got in for that.
What are they going to do about it?
I don't know.
Nothing. Like that's
they
the
can't.
kind.
Everything's already shot for season 3, and there's no word on production for season 4. So.
What are they going to do? Put him on restriction, ground him, put him in his room, not let him watch TV, take his cell phone away.
Maybe like fine tooth his contract and be like, well, your contract says you're not allowed to do this, this, and this.
Well,
and
he's already gone on record as saying that his contract's up. He just can't wrestle anywhere until on American television until this season has finished airing. So he's just waiting for that.
Yeah, because that's also kind of, a little bit unfair. They didn't let him be on the New Japan show because they have King Cuerno and Drago that were at Slammiversary just the same, like the day before. Wait, same day, yeah.
That's the exact reason why they didn't let. I mean, that's imagine part of the reason why they didn't let. They have an agreement. They have a working relationship, I guess, with Global Force Wrestling, formerly Impact.
Yeah, but the difference is, like, that's Drago, and Drago's on Lucha Underground, but Ricochet is not on Lucha Underground. Right. So why does that not gray area work?
Oh, you mean as Ricochet? He wasn't allowed?
No,
Come on.
that was the thing. Like, he showed up as Ricochet. It's not like he came in as Prince Puma, but still, yeah.
I kind of got lost a little bit when he got on the mic, man. The mic work got a little bit kind of, I don't know. It lost me a little bit. It's just that it's. If it wasn't Ricochet, I'd have been like, oh, okay. But I'm a big Ricochet fan, and so are the people in the building.
Yeah, definitely.
So, hey, Denise talked about Juice Robinson, and I remember talking to him on several occasions, and I remember when he told me that he asked for his release, I'm pretty sure he did ask for his release.
He did.
Yeah.
Right, it was right before WrestleMania. They kept him on until after,
Yeah.
and then he, like the day after WrestleMania, he was released.
And I talked to him back then. I was like, man, you got to get a mean streak. Like, that's the thing that I see, because like, he's very talented, good look, everything. But I wanted to see, like, I want to be afraid of you. I want to think, okay, this guy can hurt me.
He was starting to get there at his last couple of days, his last couple of appearances at NXT, and we got a chance to interview him right after he got let go, and I've been so happy for him ever since.
Yeah, he did great. I would have liked to seen him showing up with a tan and maybe work on the body a little bit. That's it. Other than that, like, excellent job. Great job with Zack Sabre Jr. Great. Who was he in there with today?
He faced Ishii night 2.
Juice Robinson did?
Oh, no. I thought you were talking about Zack Sabre Jr.
No, Juice Robinson.
Oh, okay.
I think he was in a
He was
tag.
multi-man,
Yeah, he was in the multi-man tag.
It's like 5-on-5, maybe.
Yeah.
So, anyways, anything else, New Japan? No?
It was fun. It was awesome, and I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the quote that's going to be on the poster for the next one.
All right. Well, anything that we need to talk about before we head out of here?
Just follow us on AfterBuzz TV, Twitter, The Real X-Pac, IG, X-Pac12360, Facebook, X-Pac12360 Show. Also on iTunes, 5 stars, nothing less than that. Also leave your comments on YouTube and all of that good stuff. And do you have any events or anything coming up?
Well, you know, you can go to prowrestlingtees.com/Sean Waltman and pick up a few T-shirts, help out the cause. You can follow me on Twitter at The Real X-Pac. The other stuff TK just told you about. So rewind it and listen to what she said. Other than that, I appreciate everybody. Thank you, Bill. Thank you for coming in again. You can't be here next week, but hopefully the week after that, right?
We'll see.
I hope so, man. We need you, Bill.
You don't need me. You got TK.
Where can they find you, Bill?
You can find me on Twitter at Sundown Motel. You can find me on all social media at Sundown Motel. Check out withspandex.com and uprocks.com for pro wrestling coverage.
Why Sundown Motel? Oh, wait, you already told him. I'm just kidding.
What about you, Jimbo?
If you enjoyed our interview with the Young Bucks today, you can go to highspots.com and buy the documentary The Young Bucks' Too Sweet Journey that I made and hear about their tales of battling the Hardys before the Hardys were broken and how they became the stars that they are. And follow me on Twitter at Jimbo in the Booth.
Ooh, so polished.
All right. Well, we'll. Oh, sorry. Jesus.
You can't follow Denise.
Poor me.
You're
No,
not allowed.
anyways, I don't have anything as awesome as that, but you guys can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at _Denise Salcedo.
All right.
You guys can follow me at TK Trinidad. I am in my second week of my birth season. I have a charity event coming up for the
Only
boys and
12
girls.
more weeks.
Only 4 more weeks. I have a second event. I'm raising money for the Boys and Girls Club of
that's
America
good stuff.
and Canada. So that's going to be up on my Twitter and on my social media at TK Trinidad.
I'm all about the United Way,
Yes.
Boys and Girls Club, baby.
It's not the birth season, just the...
Yeah, no, I'm not about the birthday season crap at all. But anyways, mine's coming up, and I'm hoping people forget it. So, anyways, I thank you guys, everyone that tuned in, and we'll see y'all next week right here on X-Pac 12360.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Sean Waltman, producers Jimbo Frank and TK Trinidad, managing producer of AfterBuzz TV Wrestling Mark Donica, and the entire X-Pac 12360 staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in. Like us on Facebook, rate and comment on iTunes and YouTube. Follow X-Pac on Twitter at TheRealXpac and email us at xpac12360show@gmail.com. This has been a presentation of the AfterBuzz TV Network. Buzz you later.